Hey guys, this is Big Nick here giving you a different type of video, and that is, today it's going to be my WrestleMania 31 predictions. As we all know, this is the Friday before WrestleMania, so I'm just going to get right into it. Some of these I have 3 types of predictions, and some I have 2 because I don't see a third outcome. And some of these I gave some superstars a benefit of the doubt because for some matches we know who's going to win, so I had to give them some type of benefit for a doubt. Just to try to make this video a little different from others, because mainly other prediction videos, each match has like one outcome. They all have one outcome from certain matches, so I'm giving you at least 3 or 2. So let's get right into it. Starting with the pre-show, as we all know, the first hour we'll have the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title match, and the second hour we'll have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, as we found out this past Thursday on SmackDown. Let's get right into it. Okay, we have Cesaro and Kid defending the tag team titles against the Usos, the New Day, and Los Matadores. Let's get right into this. My first outcome is Kid and Cesaro retain, proving that they are legit and they are the tag team of 2015, as they said they were going to be earlier this year. My second outcome is the Usos win to keep their rivalry with Kid and Cesaro going, and possibly to push teams like the Ascension and maybe some other heel teams that we don't know them making. And also to prove that they are one of the best teams in WWE history, giving them their 3rd tag team title reign, and proving that they are one of the top teams in the world today, with the likes of the Wolves and the Young Bucks. And my third outcome is the New Day wins, but they bring back the Freebird rule. That'll be interesting. If the New Day wins, they bring back the Freebird rule. That'll be an interesting way to see how they work that, because Kid and Cesaro getting their rematch against them, they'll be going up against possibly a different pair that won at WrestleMania. And if other teams like the Ascension, they'll be going up against a different pair. I think the Ascension has beaten the New Day on main event or Superstars. I may be mistaken, but you can let me know in the comment, because I don't think so. Okay, next is the Memorial Battle Royal, the second hour of the pre-show, which is 2 hours long. For first outcome, I have 3 for this as well. But first, preferably for me, I would want either my first 2 outcomes to happen. Either Kid and Cesaro retain, because I want to see them with a long reign, or the Usos win. Just because Usos are one of my favorite teams, and I want the Usos to prove that they're one of the top teams in the world today with the Young Bucks and Wolves. Okay, back to this. Now, for me, this one, for this one is my 3rd choice. I prefer this one to happen, or the second one. So, let's get right into it. My first choice is Ryback wins the Memorial Battle Royal. It's proven that this is the big guy's year to actually become the guy. Hopefully, if he does, it doesn't turn out like Cesaro. When Cesaro got that push for about, I'd say, a couple months after the Memorial Battle Royal, and then just plummeted afterwards. Okay, and my number 2 pick is the NXT superstar who gets in who wins the tournament and gets in. Now, if we all found out today, it's Hideo Itami. So, if Hideo was to win, what would this mean for Hideo? That he gets a straight shot to the main roster, or possibly he just remains on NXT with that hanging that over people's head that he was at WrestleMania and he won. Especially since at NXT this coming Wednesday he has a match with Tyler Breeze, 2 out of 3 falls. And number 3 is, as I said, my choice is Mizdow wins and also he eliminates Miz to win, giving Miz the proverbial finger and saying goodbye to Miz, and that he will have that push that we've all waited for since he actually joined Miz, because he kind of went downfall in early part of last year, and then when he joined Miz, becoming the stunt double made him popular again. So let's hopefully that happens. As I said, I'd either hope number 2 or 3 happens, but let's see, Vince. Now we go right to the show itself, and I have the Divas tag team match. I have 2 outcomes for this because there's no third possibility. My first outcome is AJ and Paige implode, costing themselves the match, and the Bellas win, proving that they are the 2 top divas on the roster. But for me, I prefer my second choice, and that's AJ and Paige win, lead into both of them or one of them getting the Divas title, or just a match with Nikki in the up and coming weeks. Maybe I'd say the Monday after, or at least Extreme Rules. But one of them gets the title and possibly has a feud with up-and-coming NXT divas like Charlotte, Sasha Banks, never know. And actually maybe a match with Natalya. Maybe Natalya gets back in the title hunt. Yeah, as I said, I prefer the second choice, but let's go to the next match, which I have 3 outcomes for this, and that's Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins, which I expect a lot from this match. They've been kind of building this match since November, so let's see what happens here. My first outcome is that it's the most unlikely of the outcomes, that Seth Rollins wins cleanly. No interference from J&J. Kane and Big Show don't get involved. he wins cleanly and proves that he is the legit future of the WWE. My second one is that J&J and the Authority constantly get involved, costing either Orton the match or Rollins, because we have seen in the past where the Authority gets involved and Rollins has lost the match. So let's hopefully, well, odds are the second one will happen, but it's going to be the first half because they will get involved because Rollins will have them at ringside. And my number 3 outcome is Orton damn near destroys Seth Rollins, and also to continue that rivalry, because if Rollins loses, he's not going to stop until he gets payback, and if Orton loses, he's going to continue to go after Rollins to destroy him. So either way, I see this rivalry continuing after WrestleMania into Extreme Rules and possibly Payback. The Payback will be the ending of the rivalry, like we saw with Cena and Wyatt, but hopefully Orton doesn't bury Rollins, even though Rollins still has the briefcase. Because around that time, he will have a month left to cash it in. For me, I preferably hope either number 1 and number 3 happens, just so that there is no controversy about who won, and Rollins doesn't get to run his mouth that the Authority screwed Orton, that the Orton screwed the Authority. Okay, next is the U.S. title match, Cena challenging Rusev. I have 2 outcomes because really there's no third for this one, and I gave Rusev the benefit of the doubt in this match because we all know who's winning this match. My first thing is Rusev proves his dominance and destroys Cena like he did at Fastlane and he did on Raw, but we all know that's not going to happen. Yeah, this is my second choice. Cena wins, bringing the U.S. title back to the United States, and to put that title over as the WWE wants with that one and the Intercontinental title, because they want to make those titles mean something again, because those are 2 of the oldest titles and 2 of the most legendary titles in the business. So yeah, as we all know, it's Cena winning. I don't have any preference. I actually want Cena to win, but we already know he was going to. Next up is the Intercontinental title ladder match, where Barrett defends against R-Truth, Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, and Stardust. Now I have 3 outcomes for this. One of these is a rumor I've been hearing around for the past, I'd say, couple weeks, so I put that as my third choice. These 2 are my choices. The first 2. The first one is Ambrose wins to complete his goal of getting his picture on the wall at WWE headquarters and proving that he's going to be one of the greatest WWE's Intercontinental champions ever. That I actually hope happens. I hope Ambrose wins, because I don't see Barrett at all retaining his title in this match. Otherwise, they would have gave him at least maybe a triple threat with Ambrose and Truth. But that's a different story. Now, my second choice is Daniel Bryan wins the Intercontinental title, getting the Triple Crown, putting him up there with the likes of Triple H, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Kane, Bret Hart, and those likes, making him one of the great, and Orton doing something that Cena never did, holding the Intercontinental title, getting a Triple Crown, and also be WWE's way of making up for not putting him in the main event. And also, as I said, WWE wants to put the title over, so putting it around Daniel Bryan's waist is one way to doing it. But we all know why they're going to give him the belt. It's also a way to make up for not putting him in the main event, what we all wanted him to see, so they're just giving him a title for now. Maybe to push Bryan back for a main event match and possibly get the title back in the up-and-coming pay-per-views. So, and my third choice is the rumor mill going around is that Sheamus returns to the ladder match as a face, but then costs Daniel Bryan the title, turning him heel, and to set up a rivalry there to put the title over, which Bryan will eventually get. That'd be a good way to put the title over, Sheamus, and that's a good way to get Sheamus as a monster heel, as I've been reading that they want Sheamus as a monster heel. What a better way to do it than screw the most over superstar on the roster that's not named Ambrose or Ziggler, and screw Daniel Bryan. Okay, next is this one has 2 outcomes. This is the last 2 outcomes. The last 2 matches have 3. This one is The Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. Now, this one I had to give Taker the benefit of the doubt because, number 1, he's my favorite superstar of all time, favorite wrestler, whatever it is. And I had to give him the benefit of the doubt and I have Taker wins to show that he isn't done just yet. But we all know that's not going to happen, because why would they do that? If they're pushing Wyatt over, if they want Wyatt to be put over, then that's my second choice. Bray Wyatt defeats The Undertaker, putting himself over and proving that he is the new face of fear, and that this year will be Bray Wyatt's year to possibly even hold the WWE title. And what a way to do it, by defeating the Phenom. Okay, and now the next match is Triple H versus Sting. This is the epic match that we've all been waiting for. Possibly this one and the ladder match are this Sting and Triple H and the ladder match are gonna outshine the main event. That's my opinion. They're gonna outshine the main event. Hell, I think Taker and Bray Wyatt may even outshine the main event. So here we go. My first outcome is Triple H beat Sting, ending Sting's career, kind of proving that Triple H has finally ended WCW. But I've also heard some rumors going around that there are some WCW superstars at WrestleMania already here at WrestleMania, like DDP and Ricky Steamboat, two guys that face Sting, that know Sting. Because odds are we know Triple H is going to cheat. Okay, my second outcome is Sting wins his first ever WWE match, also at WrestleMania, beating one of WWE's all-time greats in Triple H, and also putting an end to the Authority. Okay, that's what he wants. He wants to end Triple H, which basically means he wants to end the Authority. And if he does, who would be the new Authority figure? It's not going to be McMahon. And my third choice is a rumor I read last week that's kind of had the wrestling world a little buzzing, and that's Undertaker will turn heel for the first time since 2002, costing Sting the match to set up the epic encounter at WrestleMania 32 in Taker's home state of Texas, where the odds are he will beat Sting as his redemption and end Sting altogether. Hopefully for me, I kind of hope that, me personally, I kind of hope all three of these happen because I'm one of the few people that want to see Sting and Undertaker, but the only problem is they've gotten older. Their birthdays just passed, so Undertaker's 50 and I believe Sting is 56. So they are older than what they were a few years ago, but it may still be a good match to watch because if you look at Sting is 56 going up against Triple H, and the odds are this may be the show stealer. So we'll see what happens. Okay, now let's go to the main event of WrestleMania 31. As we all know, Lesnar re-signed this past week, so all these outcomes are all possible now. They're all possible regardless because Lesnar is re-signed, and let's just go right into it. Number one is that Lesnar dominates Reigns like he's done every other opponent since last year. Taker, actually I say since 2012, since he returned, where he dominated Cena, but he lost. He dominated Triple H, dominated CM Punk, dominated Big Show, destroyed Mark Henry, destroyed Cena again at SummerSlam, and yeah, and then showed his epic performance at the Royal Rumble this 2015, just to prove that Lesnar's the man. Dominate. That's choice number one. Number two is Reigns shows he belongs in the main event, beating Lesnar, being the first person to beat Lesnar in 2 years since WrestleMania. That was the last time Lesnar lost a match in WWE. That was back at WrestleMania 29. When he lost to Triple H. And Reigns wins his first title, and I'd say he gets cheered, but I know there's going to be a lot of boos for him. I'm a so fan with Roman Reigns. I don't want him in the main event, but then I don't want him to kind of fall out because he can be a future star. But it's just the wrong timing because you got Ambrose, Ziggler, and Bryan. That's the only problem with Reigns right now. You got those other guys that people want over. And number three is that Paul Heyman screws Lesnar out of the WWE title and making Roman Reigns the new Paul Heyman guy. I see this happening because you've seen it slowly in some of his promos that Heyman has been putting Reigns over more than he has Lesnar a bit, trying to get people more interested in Reigns, and Reigns is the future if he wins the title. And what would Heyman do best? And that's align himself with the future like he did when Lesnar first showed up. He aligned himself with a future WWE champion. I see that as an outcome and leading toward Roman Reigns finally being put over because he'll have Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman will give most of the promos, and that will probably please some of the fans that Reigns isn't speaking as much like Lesnar. But me personally, I actually hope that all three of these happen as well because it would be a good way to end Mania. You have Lesnar dominate Roman Reigns like he did Cena, and Cena's the face of the company. Or you have Reigns show up, actually give a good match, prove that Lesnar isn't unbeatable, and win the title in a clean way. Or number three, Heyman costs Lesnar the title, leading toward another match between Reigns and Lesnar. I would say at Extreme Rules, maybe even leading toward a match with Lesnar and Reigns at SummerSlam. Kind of the end that right there. And yeah, that's really it. So This was my WrestleMania 31 predictions. Thank you guys for watching. I will have a few other videos coming in the up and coming weeks. A couple DVD videos and maybe also on either Sunday or Monday I'll have my WrestleMania reaction video up. We'll see how that goes, and to see if any of my predictions came true. Thank you guys, as I said earlier, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys again.